Just when I thought collectors couldn't be any dumber, they go ahead and spend $4,000 on a card that they could have bought for $20 a couple of weeks ago. And totally redeem themselves.
Still want to go to Aspen? Oh, yeah.
All right. What's up, guys? So I figured I'd throw in, I know a lot of people have been talking about Topps Project 2020, and it's literally one of the most ridiculous things I have ever seen in my life. And I felt like I had to weigh in on it. I know everyone's sort of weighing in on it, but I got to give you my thoughts. Before I get into that, you might have seen that. So I just, picked up this book. I was reading it on the beach. I know I'm supposed to be quarantined, but we went to the beach this week, Long Beach Island, and started reading this book, which I think it's a great idea. So the concept of this book, the Wax Pack, is that the author opened up a pack of 1986 Topps and then visited every single player that was in that pack. And I just thought it was a really cool concept, and you could tell the author is a big baseball fan and a great writer. So anytime I see a baseball card book, I try to support if I can. So I just wanted to throw that out there as could be a good read. So Project 2020, this is ridiculous. So my foray into this was. First of all, I just want to say that I completely missed the boat on it. I had no idea what was going on. When I first heard about Project 2020, I kind of brushed it aside as a gimmick. But then I saw, and so far I've only got one card. I've bought 5 of these. And this is the only card I have in hand right now. This is the Mike Trout Thiel card, I believe, Andrew Thiel. Beautiful card. The only reason why I picked it up because I saw it somewhere, probably on Blowout or something like that, and I was like, that is a really cool card, and I ordered it. I ordered this card, and I ordered the Ben Baller Trout. I bought those cards at the same time. Didn't realize the Ben Baller was a pre-sale. Spent $75 total on the 3 cards. So I made a mistake and I ordered the Ben Baller card twice. So I should be getting that on Monday. And to be honest with you, I bought the cards about $20, $25 a piece and didn't pay much attention to it. And then, on the other day I just checked. I was like, oh, I wonder what these cards are going for. Are they still going for $25? And I see the card's going for $200. This card was going for $250. The Baller was going for $200. And I was like, this can't be real. And somebody, told me that the Ermsey card was going for like $4,000. Somebody told me like he had like a Gooden Ermsey card that was like going for $600. And I was like, what the heck is going on with this? And sure enough, I go on to sold listings, and Topps Project 2020 had absolutely exploded like nothing I've ever seen. And it's amazing because if you guys aren't familiar with it, again, 20 artists doing 20 cards, so 400 cards total through the course of the year. And basically what they do is every business day, they Topps puts out a new card for 2 new cards for 48 hours. At $19.99 a piece, free shipping. So it's real cheap when they're on sale. And basically the way it works is whatever gets sold, that's what gets printed by Topps. So a lot of the cards in the beginning, the cards that I completely ignored, were printed under 10,000 for the most part. So in a lot of the Ichiro, the original Ichiro cards, the Trout Ermsey, have really, really low print runs. So I basically said to myself, all right, I got to get on the train before it completely leaves the station. I don't want to be the only guy, the only collector out there that doesn't, have any piece in this. I had those 3 Trout cards. And so about a week ago, I went in on a Gibson Ermsey because I was like, wow, the Trout Ermsey's gone nuts. The Gooden Ermsey's gone nuts. Seems like everything Ermsey's doing really well. So I ended up spending $80 on the Gibson Ermsey card. And I don't know if you guys have ever like bought a card and then the next day you kind of like regret it immediately. So I remember like waking up the next morning. It's a cool card, like the Gibson Ermsey. It's kind of out there a little bit, but I liked it. For some reason, I liked it. But the next day, I needed to kind of take a cold shower, and I thought about canceling my order. But I don't want to be that guy. And so I been going on to Topps' website. And the next card that I wanted to buy is the fifth card that I bought. Again, I haven't received any of these cards yet. Was the Griffey Shore card, and now you can get it on Topps' website for $20, but you can get it on eBay. A lot of the eBay sellers will sell it for like $17. So I was like, why not? I'll get the Griffey Shore card for $17. And so I think a day or two later, they announced the print run for the Griffey Shore, and it was 99,000 copies were ordered on Topps' website. So we were dealing with, the first couple of cards, first 20 or so cards at a print run of about 1,000. And now this Griffey Shore at 99,000. And what I've noticed is ever since that announcement of the Griffey Shore, having 99,000, I think that kind of let everyone know that, okay, it's mainstream now. It's no longer cool or whatever. Everyone knows about it. Like it's no longer a secret because it was kind of like in demand because it was still like, oh, maybe people haven't found out about it. And now that everyone knows about it, prices are plummeting. Like it's been one of the funnest things to watch. Like I only have 5 cards. I'm probably $150 deep into this, and I'm happy with the cards. I really like them a lot. So I don't really I'm not that invested in it. But man, oh man, it has been fun watching people just panic on eBay. And panic in both directions. Panic and buy, and then sell. It'll be really fun to see where this lands. I really don't know. If you guys want to know my opinion, obviously I completely missed the boat on the way in. What do I know on the way out? One thing, to no surprise, my recommendation would be to let things kind of settle down a little bit. And then when prices settle down, buy the card at the price that you're comfortable with, but don't get caught up in the hype. One of the things that I think is a good buy right now is actually, so the 20 cards are iconic cards. The 2011 Topps Update Trout, the 93, the 93 Jeter, the 85 Topps Gooden, which is not really that iconic of a card. So those cards, I think the fact that they're going to be doing this the rest of the year, those 20 cards, I think especially, will get a nice bump. The 87 Topps McGwire, the 2001 Ichiro. Those are cards you might want to take a close look at. The Jackie Robinson from 52 Topps, the Willie Mays from 52 Topps. So just take a look at those cards, the original cards, the original cards, because as I pointed out many times on my channel, the more people get familiar with a particular, the more you see a card, the more you want it. Like when I first saw the Trout Ermsey card, I thought it was I thought it was the ugliest card I've seen in a long time. In a way, I was kind of offended by it a little bit. I just thought it was just ugly. But as I've watched, seen it enough times, it's kind of grown on me to the point where I wouldn't be surprised if I pick it up at some point. But of course, I'm only going to buy it at the price that I think, is the right price for that card, which I still think it's a little too high. Well, who knows? We'll see. We'll see where it lands. But I think the sure thing is the cards that these are all these are reproductions, and the originals are the cards to get. And we're going to be seeing all year long, we're going to see different artists do their take on these iconic original cards. So my recommendation is to go after the original cards in a high grade if you can get them. And, you know, that is going to be the investment to go with for a long time. Now, here's my, impression of a collector. It's basically like, oh my God, the Jordan. Forget the Jordan. I'm going, the Bowman first, Jason Dominguez. Oh my God, Topps Project 2020. So like eventually, people are going to move on from Topps Project 2020 and move on to something else. And then card prices for Topps Project 2020, like we're seeing already, are coming down. And then you'll be able to buy them at really good prices. But one thing that I will note is that I do think, just like every other card, people will cycle back to it. Just like you saw with the 80s cards. Like, people are cycling back to the 80s cards, and then they'll move on to the modern cards, and they'll forget about the 80s cards, and the 80s cards will go down. And then at some point, people will get back into 80s cards again, and then those cards will go up again. And so from a long-term perspective, I do think that they will have value, because short-term, I would let things kind of settle down. But I do think that they do have long-term value. It might take some time for them to kind of, grow. It might take a couple of years, and it'll also depend on whether they continue Topps Project 2021, 22. I have no idea. But one thing I would recommend is the original cards. And of course, I think that they're awesome, on the, for $20 a piece, to get a card that looks this nice for $20, I don't think you can go wrong. So if you see a card that you really like, I'm going to be logging on to Topps' website every day to see if there's a card that I really like. I'll probably end up buying like 20 of these. Especially at $20 a pop, why not? They're beautiful cards. And then, of course, people are like, it's funny because people are selling not only the card, but it's also got the case, man. The case. People are selling the case. Oh, God. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Those are my thoughts on Topps Project 2020. It's an interesting time, one of the craziest times that I've ever seen. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you later. Peace.